The library, I think, is a critical central element of any community, no matter where you are.
I mostly use the library for its printing services. I mean, probably the art section or any kind of art books that they have. They have a lot of cool stuff about like tattooing and just general art stuff that I'm interested in.
I do know that some of my staff sometimes will go there, sometimes just for quiet time to read or to use their computers just when they're looking for a little bit of more kind of private time, maybe from their families or from the office. From a business standpoint, how I do actually utilize the library would be more just from an education standpoint. I definitely read a lot of books on business, entrepreneurship, and different things like that. So.
I'm Drew Brookhart, Director of Gunnison County Libraries. I've been a professional librarian since finishing my master's degree in Library and Information Science at the University of Denver. Even before I graduated, I was hired at Pickens County Library in Aspen, Colorado, along with my wife. So when I saw the job open in Gunnison County Libraries, I was thrilled and applied and came out and interviewed with the board.
And we were very lucky to find Drew Brookhart, who at that time was helping to build a new library in Nebraska. And although he had previously worked in Colorado, he's a Colorado native, and worked in the Aspen area besides, so he knows Colorado and he knows how to build libraries. At any rate, we found the perfect match for our new director. I'm Bruce Bartleson. I'm the president of the Library Board of Trustees of the Gunnison County Library District. Our county commissioners actually own the building, and to this time, they are the ones who choose a board. So it's not an elected office. Our library board right now consists of 6 different individuals, and I've been on the board for 15 years, and this is by far the best board we've ever had.
My predecessor, Nancy Trim, did an excellent job of sort of modernizing a lot of library services. She started library programs, she started tech education, she did a marketing plan for the library. And so I came into, I guess, what I would describe as a really healthy program, public library program. And the only issues that are limiting that program from really taking off are space and funding. And so my focus in the last year and a half have been to look at the landscape in the community and start to understand how we can address space issues and funding issues for Gunnison County Libraries so that we can continue to grow a great public library program.
Before I started working for the library, I actually was unaware of how the library district was funded. I was under the impression, like I think most people are, that the library, the Gunnison County Libraries, are a county department. But I learned that in 2008, the district separated from the county and became its own independent organization.
At that time, it didn't have its own mill levy, so it was not directly levying any taxpayer funds. It was being funded through the county, through an intergovernmental agreement with the county, and those funds are discretionary funds, which means that although the county would like to continue providing them, there's no guarantee they may be able to do so depending on other financial obligations that they have.
Libraries can be organized in a lot of different ways. Prior to a district being formed, the library was run as a county department. And so when you're involved with a larger organization like a county or a city, there's annual appropriations, the the library is a part of, and so it injects a certain level of politics into public library system. For that reason, the library board felt that there was wisdom, and the commissioners agreed, in establishing an independent library district, sort of like a school district, that operates with the sole purpose of providing the community with public library services. And both of those groups, the county commissioners and the library board, went through the process of forming that library district, and that became a reality in 2008. In 2011, the library board approached voters to independently fund the library district, and that question did not pass. And that really has led to where we are here in 2019 with major facility issues and a remaining need for dedicated funding for our library district.
Well, in order to better serve the community, we want to have the voters approve an issue that would amount to about $13.30 per $100,000 of property value. So what we want to do is have the voters approve a funding that's directed towards the library district. At the present time, all of our money comes through the generosity of the county. Even though we're an independent district, we don't have a direct funding from the voters like, say, the school board or the water board does.
So this fall, November the 5th, 2019, Gunnison County Library District is asking a question on the ballot to fund services, operations, programming, and collections. So right now, the library district has no source of sustainable funding. Our libraries could be defunded at any time. This question will, number one, solve that situation to where we do have sustainable funding for library services in Gunnison County. If the question passes, we will expand collections, expand programs, expand services. We'll add a whole suite of services for young adults. We will grow our children's programming and early literacy programming. We will be able to double the amount of electronic downloadable content that's available, and we'll be able to add a third more to our physical collections each year. So it'll be a much nicer public library experience for our community, and it will be sustainable. If the question passes in November, Gunnison County has agreed to fund facility improvements out of existing funds. So this question will not raise debt for our community. It will fund our library operations sustainably, allow them to grow, and Gunnison County will support facility improvements with existing dollars. If the question does not pass, then nothing happens. No facility improvements will take place. The library will continue to exist in its current space, and there will be no expansion in services.
So the actual amount of taxes for any individual property owner are going to depend on, first of all, the value of their property, and second of all, what kind of property it is. For residential property, it's going to mean about $13.60 for every $100,000 of property value. For anything other than residential, which is, agricultural, commercial, natural resource property, because the assessment rate is much higher for those properties, those folks are going to pay about $55 for every $100,000 of property value.
I feel like I have to get a clearer picture on why a new library is necessary. The libraries that we have are more than sufficient for me, but I know that I don't represent all of the thought patterns of newer people or younger people, And if I really believed that a new library is essential, I would vote for it. Because I don't vote yes on many tax issues, because I just don't believe that property owners should be responsible for everything for everybody. But I would vote for that one, definitely.
I'd like to see somewhat of a grassroots effort in perhaps Gunnison to accomplish this new building. I mean, they've been given the land, and is it $1 million too? And I think the citizenry needs to come forth and step up.
The library ballot question in 2019 is not about building a new facility. The library ballot question in 2019 is about sustainable funding for library services. It's about an increase in the programming we're able to provide, an increase in the collections that are available to the public, and making the overall library experience better.
Well, my first reaction is taxes go up, and nobody likes to pay more taxes. However, because I've been working at the library as a volunteer on occasion, I've seen the use that it gets, and I see where it's crowded and where they need more space, and so I guess probably in the end I'm for it.
So I think that taxes are a hot spot in general for folks. All of us have different lifestyles. Some of us have families, some of us don't. Some of us, we're all in different situations. So a lot of times we tend to look at what we want to spend tax dollars on that would directly impact our quality of life. It's tough because I would say that for me as a property owner, I pay a lot of taxes. And also in commercial, I pay an abundance of taxes. There's a really rather large percentage I pay towards the school system, and I don't have children. And so you're asking, well, folks that don't use the library, should they pay some of their tax dollars towards creating a larger facility? And so I can only speak for myself. For me, I understand that taxes are needed, that we have a lot of different things between schools and libraries that we need as a community to thrive. And even though I don't personally have children and I don't really utilize our school systems, I do believe that funds towards that are important. And I do heavily utilize the library. I think it's important. I come from a family of school teachers, and I've always believed that education is one of the most important factors in helping us grow not only as individuals but as a community.
Libraries enhance the value of the community. And from my point of view, both school systems and libraries have to be supported by the local population in and of itself because it's important, but it also increases their own property values. They may see it as an extra tax, but over time it enhances the value of the property itself.
The library district employs approximately 22 people. Most of those positions are part-time, and some of them are very part-time, especially with our English language instruction teachers. The library operates on a budget of just over $900,000 a year. The 2019 ballot question and continued support from Gunnison County will increase the library's budget to approximately $1.2 million a year. That will allow a 33 to 35% increase in all of our services, the addition of some completely new services, expansion of what's most popular in our library system, and the ability to grow in the future and meet ongoing and evolving community needs.
So what we're asking people for is to just give us our own funding source so that we're not still attached to the county.
I'm a property owner in Crested Butte, and I can't think of any way I would rather spend a little extra money for the betterment of the community and the library for our whole county than to help pay a little extra money on my taxes for a better library for the whole valley.